Hi everyone, happy Thursday. I hope everybody's having a great week so far. So today's topic is self-compassion. And the reason that I wanted to talk about self-compassion is, if you don't know and you don't follow me on my page, Zaribel, Zaribel Clay, creating the happiest, healthiest version of your life on Facebook, go ahead and follow me. I have been documenting my journey as I have been detoxing from antidepressants that I took for 4 years. And I didn't realize how little self-compassion I had for myself until this process. I was getting very annoyed and very impatient and very uncompassionate with myself and the way that I was feeling, because after taking antidepressants for 4 years, it has not been easy to come off of it. Today is the day number 14 that I've been completely off of it, but it's been over a month process of coming down the medication. And months before that, getting mentally ready and physically ready, changing my diet, changing my routines in order to get my mind and my body ready to come off a medication that I took for 4 years. But I then realized I was being so hard on myself. Like every day that I wasn't feeling good, or I wasn't able to do my work or to do my workout, or to treat my husband with love, or to treat my daughter with patience, because I was coming off the medication. So I was feeling agitated and confused and emotional and just upset and moody and all these things. Some days were really, really bad. And I was getting so down on myself, and I was beating myself up to the point that I was sitting outside in my back porch, crying, texting my friends saying, I'm a failure, I'm a terrible mom, I'm a terrible wife, I'm just a terrible person, I feel this way, I feel that way. And I just realized at that point how little self-compassion I had for myself and my situation. I was being very unkind to myself and just impatient and not loving myself. So I realized that I had to do something about it. And I also realized that if I'm going through this, that means that a lot of people out there like you are going through this too. And I'm not saying just coming off of medication. I'm just saying having trouble being self-compassionate, having trouble forgiving yourself for not being perfect, for not getting done all the things that you want to do on a daily basis, for making mistakes, and for just being a human who's not imperfect. At the end of the day, being happy and feeling good about yourself, it's always going to be better than being right or doing things a certain way. So this is why I'm here today. And I wanted to share with you guys some of the things that I do that have definitely helped me be more self-compassionate with myself. And these are practices that you don't have to do. These are just suggestions that I do. And I have found that the biggest thing that has helped me be more self-compassionate is taking care of myself. And not only taking care of myself. So it's not like just working out, doing this, doing that. It's just being intentional of when I'm doing the things that I'm doing. I'm being intentional and putting my intention in taking care of myself and knowing that these things that I'm doing are good for me, and they're going to help me take care of myself and be self-compassionate and have more patience with myself in the situation that I'm going through right now. But I can apply this to any other situation where I feel that I'm being unkind to myself. So I just wanted to share with you something that I do every day that I've been doing for almost over a year now. Not almost, it's been over a year now. A year and about 2-3 months now. And I don't do it 100% of the time, but I can promise you that I do it at least 80% of the time. So that's the 80-20 rule. At least 80% of the time, if not more, I do this every morning. But what I've been doing now, when I realized that I was being so unkind to myself and lacking self-compassion, is that when I do it, I'm setting my intention particularly in being more self-compassionate when I'm doing these things. So what I do is I wake up every day at 5 o'clock in the morning, and because this works for me. If I am up before my daughter Victoria and my husband Chris wake up, it makes my life that much better. That is like my therapy. I am not very good at attending them or my 4-year-old demands early in the morning when I have not filled my cup and take care of myself. So I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I do some reading, and I'm going to show you some of the books that I read, and then I do meditation. And I've been doing meditation, tapping on meditation on and off for about a year. But recently, when I started coming off the medication, I've definitely been tapping a lot more into it, and I'm making it a point of doing this a daily practice, and it's helping me tremendously. Not only helping me be more self-compassionate, which has helped tremendously, but in every single area of my life. And then I do my 30-minute workout. For 2 weeks, I had not been working out. If you follow me on Facebook or you know anything about me, you know that for the past year and so, I have been exercising every day, changing my diet, and trying to heal myself from the inside out. So a year ago, I was able to stop taking my anxiety medication, my sleep medication, and my ADHD medication. And now I'm tweaking that even more so I can come off my antidepressant medication, but now I'm working on self-compassion, taking care of myself and being in control of my body and my mind. So that's what I do. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I do some reading, I do a meditation, and then I do my workout. So I'm going to show you some of the books that I've been reading. And I read these books. I'm not saying that I'm reading all of them completely every week. I just go back and forth. I'm going to show you the 2 books that I read without a fail in the morning. And then I'm going to show you the other books that I've been reading through the week. So whenever I have times, pockets of times through the day, I like to read. It makes me feel better, and it makes me, in this point in my life, I'm doing with the intention of being self-compassionate and taking care of myself, and it's helping tremendously. So if you followed me in any of the social media, like I said, Zaribel, Z-A-R-I-B-E-L, Clay, creating the happiest, healthiest version of your life on Facebook. I have shared that I'm a huge fan of Gabrielle Bernstein. So she has this book, it's called May Cost Miracles, and it's a 40-day practice, and each day comes with a morning reflection, and some of them have a meditation to kind of like set your day. So some weeks, and it's broken down in weeks, so some weeks is about relationships, some weeks about relationship with people, so another week is relationship with money, yourself, about forgiveness, anything in life, which is great. So I do that, and I have my little notebook, so I write down, like today's this week it's financial fears. So today is I'm willing to change my inner dialogue about my finances. So I do that in the morning, and I do the meditation or the affirmation that comes with it. And then I have read this book several times, but what I do now is that I just open it in a random place. I just say a little prayer for the universe to open in a page that I need to read, and I read it and I study it. It has tons of meditations as well. So when I'm done with these 2 books, which is I do every morning without fail before I do anything else, I do a meditation. So she has a lot of meditations in here about almost anything. Like if you need to, forgive somebody, or you're trying to relax, or you're trying to find oneness or unity or money blocks or whatever. So I do a lot of these meditations. I also go online on YouTube, and I find some guided meditations about anything in particular that I'm feeling that I need help with. This morning, because this week on this book we're talking about money, there's this lady called Jess Lively, and I listened to her podcast, and she happened to have a guided meditation about money blocks. So I did that. Yesterday I did a guided meditation about how to align yourself for your day, how to align your energy for the day. And that's a 14-minute meditation. It's a guided meditation. Nothing like weird or anything, but it really sets the tone for the day. So you don't have to come up with the meditations or do it on your own. The guided meditations are super easy. You just do what they tell you to do, and it really relaxes you. And I love to do the meditation before I start my day because it sets the tone for the rest of the day. The other books that I've been reading is Anxious Kids, Anxious Parents. This is because I have a very anxious child, and I have dealt with anxiety myself. So I go back and forth in this book when I have pockets of time. This is a very important book in my life right now, A Mind of Your Own by Dr. Kelly Brogan. And this is the book that really inspired me to quit taking medication and start taking control of my mind and my body, A Mind of Your Own. And then this very important book that I'm reading right now, which is the one that is really helping me with self-compassion and shame and guilt and all those feelings that sometimes we don't like to talk about, is from Brene Brown. And this is a book that I bought a few years ago, and I am rereading it right now. Somebody in one of the podcasts that I was listening, they mentioned her, and I said, I think it was Oprah's Super Soul Sundays podcast, and I said, you know what, I need to go back to that book. And it's perfect how the universe worked that way. It brought me back to this book, which talks so much about compassion and connection and relationships and shame and guilt and all those things that sometimes that we carry, and we don't realize how it's impacting our lives and the relationships and just our days and our entire lives. So this book, The Gifts of Imperfection, it's a fantastic book. So as you can see, I read a lot, and when I'm not reading, I'm listening to podcasts on my phone, in the car, every single pocket of time. What I do with my time, I basically fill my head with positive things that are going to help me grow, are going to help me forgive myself, forgive other people, stretch myself, be more self-compassionate, be more self-forgiving, and just elevate myself into the person that I want to become. So if you get anything from this video, is try to, every single pocket of time that you have, you may not have as much time as I have to read what I'm reading, but you have to go from and to work, listen to a podcast, wake up a little bit earlier in the morning, 10 minutes, and read something positive from a book. If you don't like to read, listen to a podcast. That has been the most powerful thing that I have done for my healing. And like I said, right now I'm focused on self-compassion, so my intention is on that. But with everything else in my life, reading, I'm huge, as you can see, and I have tons of more books at home. It's something I just do, so I don't let my brain get confused or upset or tripped out with everything that is happening in the world. I am paying attention to what's happening in the world, but I use my time wisely. So I decide to, every single day, I've made the choice to fill my brain and my thoughts with these kind of information, these kinds of books, and the podcast that I'm reading. And that has definitely helped me. So since it's helped me so much, and it's helped me more than any, and I'm 33 years old, if you didn't know, and I've been going to therapy and taking medication on and off since I was 19. And I can promise you, these books that I just showed you, especially these, especially this one, this has been life transforming. The Universe Has Your Back from Gabrielle Bernstein, and The Gifts of Imperfection from Brene Brown. This practice of me waking up earlier in the morning and getting my readings done and doing a meditation and doing a 30-minute workout, those three things that I do every day, even if you picked one and you just put your intention and what you want for your life with it, that has helped more than any therapy, any medication, any whatever. And I have done it all. Individual therapy, I have been hospitalized, group therapy, 12-step programs for different things, like codependency. I did 2 12-step programs, and other emotional addictions like food, medication. You mentioned the medication. I probably have taken it or tried it. I have pretty much done everything that I've been able to do in order to find healing, and nothing has been more good for me and more effective for me than this routine that I created a year ago, and I've been really honing in, waking up, doing my readings with my books, putting my intention at a specific area of my life that I'm needing help. Like right now is self-compassion, sometimes it's forgiveness, sometimes it's intimacy, sometimes it's parenting, whatever it is. And doing a meditation to start my day, and then getting my 30-minute workout. That has helped me tremendously. I hope it helps somebody else out there. If you have any comments or questions about what I'm reading or what I'm doing, or if you want to share what you're doing and it's working for you, please share it with me, share it with everybody. I am here to spread the love and hopefully get people talking about what works for them and how we can heal ourselves in a natural way, because we are in control of our lives. We are in control of our body. We're in control of our mind, and we have the birthright to be happy and be in control of our happiness. And we can do that at any given time. Is your choice, but it takes practice. It takes practice, so you can't just quit when it gets hard. I started this practice over a year ago, so it's gotten a lot easier, but you need to see it through and just keep going. Yes, it takes work, but imagine if you can do this and you can transform your life in 1, 2, 3 years compared to, let me go back. What I have done in the past year, what I've transformed in my life with these things that I do in the past year, has been way much more transformative than the work that I've done since I was 19 years old. So from 19 years old to 33 years old, all those years, what I've done the last year, doing the things that I just told you, have impacted my life in a bigger way. So yes, it takes a little bit of work, but you will get to your goal, to your happiness, to feeling joy a lot faster than going from therapist to therapist, from medication to medication. Because what you're doing now, if you follow any of the things that I said, what I'm doing now is I'm looking inside of